All right. Lesson 1.1. You're all on page 4? No book? Yes. We're on page 4. Understanding whole numbers. You guys should know this chart. You should know the place value chart. I know that you do if you went to this school because my daughter is in your class and I saw the book that you used all year. The place value chart. Yes? You see the chart? You agree that that's true? Notice what is this guy right here? What is that thing? What is that thing? It's the decimal, right? Did you know that every number has a decimal? Even the number 2, it has a decimal. We just don't write it, but it's there. The number 2 has a decimal right here. We just leave it off. You know what I'm talking about? So every number has a decimal. When you write numbers and read numbers, here's the deal. You know this, that they are in groups of 3 here, right? Groups of 3. If I give you a number like this, what you could do is you would plug this into your chart. You line it up. And you go, okay. Once you enter one of these new rings, right, these groups of 3, you've got to say that group. And you go, okay, so inside of this group, there's hundreds, there's as many as 999 of whatever group we're talking about, right? In this case, these are the thousands. Do you agree with that? That this is the thousands group up here. This is the millions group. We go up here and we look at this and we just grab that group of 3 and we go, okay, that is 10. What's the group name? 1,000. 10,000. Over here, this is just the units. They don't have their own little guy. There's 10,402. Notice I didn't say and anywhere in there. I did not use the word and. The only time when you're reading a number that you use the word and is when? Do you know this? Read.
After decimal.
Instead of the decimal. It and is the decimal. Whenever you read a big number, when you hit that decimal, you pop the word and then you keep reading. Does that make sense? A lot of people would read this 10,402. That is a very common thing. Not true. This is not 10,402. It's 4,000. It's 10,402. Make sense? Let's go back here. Let's do another number. Let's choose this. Okay, big one here. Got to write it in here properly. Big number. Put them in groups. You start with the far. When you're reading it, you go to the far left, and you go, okay, what is the biggest group we get to? We get into the millions, right? They're in the millions group. So the first thing is going to be something millions. Then after that, it's going to be something thousands, and then something by itself. So over here, how many millions do we have? How many?
3.
No. How many total millions do I have? No, look, this is important. This is important. Let's group them up, right? Here's the group, which means that this is the group. That's the group of 3. That's the group of 3. That's the group of 3. Yes? You see it. You put them in groups of 3. How many are here? 13. 13 million. Jump over now. How many thousands? 4,000. 13 million. 4,900. We're done. Did you hear me use the word and? No? Okay. You guys try one on your own, on your piece of paper. You don't have to write this big thing out, but you can use my chart. You know what I mean? Just kind of look up there and kind of line it up, and put them in groups of 3. I'm going to give you a big one. See if you can get it. I want you to write out in words. Write out in words right now on your scratch paper here, whatever, on your paper. Write out in words that number. Actually spelling out the words. You know what I'm talking about? Like for the word 100, you would actually write HUNDRED.
Wait, do I write it in the spell or by?
No, this is just, we're just practicing. This is just over there on the left. This is just somewhere on your paper. See, once you have this down, you don't even need to make this chart. You've got your groups right here. That's what the commas are all about, right? That's what the commas are for. They break them up into groups of 3 for you. So here's the deal. I'm going to let Sladen read it to me, see if he can do it, see if he catch any mistakes, like words like and. Let's hear it.
704 millions, 2 10,000s, 11 hundreds.
No. You're close. You're close. Joy.
704 million, 310,000,
11. Exactly. So let's go over this. Let's pretend you did, because listen, are you going to be writing this chart every time? Every time you get home, are you going to write this chart? No. You need to just have that chart memorized, right? And you know that the first set of 3 here is the units place, right? It doesn't have its own, it doesn't have a name. That's just hundreds, tens, and ones. This guy here, the one right next to them, that is the thousands, right? These are the thousands. And this guy here, this is the millions. What's over here? What's the next one? Billions. The one before that? Trillions, right? I mean, anyway, that's a big number. Anyway, looking at this though, now that you have this, you just read it left to right. This is how many million? 704 million. 210,000. What's here? 11. Done. Done. Do we all see that? Is that difficult? You want to do one more? Want to practice one more? You guys good? Let's practice one more. Just one. Except this time, I'm going to erase the whole thing. Here we go. Try this. Here it is. Who wants to try it that hasn't already got one? All right, Momo, let's see it.
98,720,000.
Close. Yeah, I might have misheard you. What do you have, Donovan?
98,721,000.
Right. It's 98 million, right? You go to the left, so on the left. That is, the 98 is in the millions, right? 98 million. Over here, 721,000. Nothing. If there's ever a series of blanks like that, like, let's try this. I'm going to do this one, but okay, we're going to go like this. This is, what's the 14 in? What category here? Millions. 14 million, and then, do you say 0 thousands? No, you just don't say anything. If there's nothing there, you just leave it. So 14 million, 241. That's it. Head off the chair. That'll get you the attention too. Make sense? Make sense? Okay, easy. Now, the other part, there's really only one other part of this homework assignment, and that is to compare numbers. I know that most of you, this is so simple. You look at it and you know exactly the answer. Let's just look at this. Let me show you how to do it, and then, you'll be fine. You actually line them up. You're reading from left to right, and as soon as one number is bigger than the next, that's the one that's the bigger number, right? So you look over here and you go, okay, what place is this 9 here? What place is that? The thousands place, right? And this 8 is the thousands. So, okay, bang, right there. One's a 9, one's an 8. One's already bigger. Agreed? It's over. This one's bigger. The open mouth of the alligator goes open towards the bigger side. Yes? What about this? These are the ones that get a little bit more confusing when you go something like this. That's too big. Hold on. See, at quick glance, you might make a mistake here because you see big numbers here like 89, right? And these are small numbers, a 1 and a 4. It looks like the 8 and the 9 are bigger. Do you agree? It looks like it just because the 8 and 9 are big numbers. However, when we do it the way I just taught you, left to right, find the place values. What's that, 2? It's in the 10,000s, right? And this 2 is also in the 10,000s. They're tied, okay? Now what do we have to do? Got to move over one, right? There's a 3, there's a 3. Still tied, right? Move over. A 0 and a 1. Oh, which one's bigger, 0 or 1? 1. Agreed? That's the basic way of doing this. I mean, if you guys are really like sharp math students, head on the chair. If you're really smart, sharp math students, you can look at that real quick and just see which one's bigger, right? But the way to do it, if you're at all concerned, is you line them up. You just line them up, okay? Another one that's a little confusing sometimes is if you get a big one like this. This looks big because it's got a lot of big numbers, right? It's solid. You go, okay, well, which one's for this? 8 is in the 100,000s place, and this 1 is in the millions. Would you rather have $800,000 or $1 million? Right? Right? It's easy. Okay. Your homework, people. Let me make sure here that, So here's the deal. It's so lame that I do this, but okay, on this first assignment, whenever you have your paper, there's your paper, and there's your answer column, right? It looks like this, right, answer column. Okay. For answers that are big, and a lot of these are big because you have to write out these numbers in letters, in words, right? Things that are big, you can write over here, like for number 2, you can say C work. And what that means is that over here, you're going to have number 2, and it's, 10 million, 42,000. You see what I'm talking about? You can leave your work over there in the work column, and just you're in the answer column, you say, go see the work, and there's your answer. Otherwise, it would take up like 7 lines in your answer column, and that's silly. Does that make sense? But on questions like number 16, turn to page 6. Turn to page 6 and look at number 16. What is the only thing I'm looking for in your answer column? The greater than, the less than, or the equal to sign. That's the only thing I'm looking for. So that one you put in the answer column. If the answer is short and can fit in your answer column, you put it in the answer column. If it's a big long thing, it's going to take like 3 lines, well then you leave it over there in your work column. Make sure it's labeled clearly in your work column so that they go over there and they find it and go, okay, there's the answer. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes. Nope. On the back is fine. Okay. Any questions about that? Yeah. I'll tell you the assignment in a second. Yes, Dylan. Okay. All right. Then your assignment is. Oh man, I have to get out of the app. We're here. Hold on a second. You see it?